Where I'm standing now is part of a Melaleuca forest, or part of what used to be a Melaleuca forest. And I've come out here with Hillary Cooley, a park biologist, to understand the problems of Melaleuca and how they've treated it. So you've got this nice stand of Melaleuca. I guess it's not a nice stand, but it's certainly a tall, vibrant stand. There's roughly 5,000 acres of Melaleuca, or at one time there was roughly 5,000 acres of Melaleuca forest in the park.
Yeah, that's one of the better estimates that we have.
So what we have here are the flowers of the Melaleuca. And they're really kind of cute. I guess they call them bottle brushes. They kind of look like a bottle brush. And then once the seeds, they develop these capsules. And these capsules are just filled with like a dust, but there's thousands of seeds in these capsules. And so when they release, I mean, they could be carried on the breezes, they could be carried on wildlife, possibly, birds that come by and get them on their feathers. But I mean, the scope of how many capsules there are by thousands of seeds. So the Melaleuca is, I believe you said, native to Australia, and it was brought here decades ago, back when they were trying to drain the Everglades, and they thought that this species of tree might help in that endeavor? That's
the story I've heard and my understanding of it. Yeah, that tree over there is a good example of it's called, another common name for it is the paperbark tree.
Sure.
So you can see where it has this very flaky, peely bark, and that bark can be, several inches thick.
Okay, so a little bit farther up here, you said we're going to enter an area that's been treated, so we'll start to see a little difference between...
Yeah, it's fairly dramatic. It's like a pretty sharp line of trees, area that's been treated versus not treated. Try and look and see. The last time I was out here, I could see evidence of the biocontrols on some of the new growth of the leaves. So we like to use what's called an integrated approach of using as many tools as we have available to us of the rotation of the herbicide chemical treatments, the biocontrols, and then working with our prescribed fire team to burn this area post-treatment when we think it's ready. An area like this I would not recommend burning, but once it's treated, we need to monitor it, and it could actually benefit. Like if we time the fire, the prescribed fire right for when some of the smaller seedlings are coming up, it can help control those. But once they get to be big and have the seeds, and the fire can just release the seeds.
So we're coming up, I guess, on the clearing you were telling me about that you guys have treated in various form and fashion. What about that?
So yeah, this area has been treated several times. I can think of 2 to 3 times probably in the last 10 years. And most recently, about a year ago, we had a contractor crew come through here with the help of our partners from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, or FWC as we call it. And we're trying to keep this now on a rotation of treating it every 3 to 5 years. And so yeah, now we've walked out into an area that was treated maybe a little over a year ago. And you can see the difference between what we had just walked through and this. And this area, before we had gone through and treated it, was pretty similar in density to what we just walked through. I think we can see some native vegetation coming back already. So we see a mixture of sawgrass in here, some other types of native grasses over here. Looks like we do have some cattails coming back. Cattails are a native species, at least for invasive plants. There are success stories, and there are things that we should celebrate and feel like we've accomplished and made a difference.
Here is the last section of Melaleuca that the park has been achieving great success in wiping out the Melaleuca and letting the native sawgrass prairie slowly come back to life. And we hope that we've educated you on not just the problems, but on the great progress that is being made from the National Park Service and the agencies and stakeholders that they work with. For National Parks Traveler, this is Kurt Repenchik.